Yeah, because everybody because they will be continuing playing this game called Caught in Your Web. Where were we? We got ending this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got. Yeah. Alright, let's do it. I gave her one last hug, pulled my knife out, and slashed her across her throat. Wow, great start. I killed her. On the start, I had a feeling that this is where Jane's story was leading, but a chill still skitters across my skin. Jane doesn't seem to notice, her attention distant. I moved. No one ever learned what I did. Perhaps my parents knew, but they were easily able to sweep it under the rug. They were willing to hide any of my fuck-ups if I meant preserving the family image. But even when I tried to focus on anything else, Isabel lingered. I missed her. I still miss her. That's when I came across a girl in the hallway of school who happened to have hair that looked just like Isabel's. I found myself thinking back to my first meeting with Jane. The first thing she said she liked about me was my clothes. How she encouraged me to continue wearing clothes just like this. So I had this idea. Maybe I could replicate what I had with Isabel with this other girl. I was so desperate that I was willing to try anything. But the more I spoke with her, the more I realized that she was actually nothing like Isabel in personality. Too chatty and far too friendly with strangers. So I broke up with her. She took it surprisingly well, but she requested one last hug. I was grateful for the time we spent together, even if it wasn't what I was looking for, so I agreed. Then the urge to slash her throat overtook me, and I couldn't resist. And for that second, it felt just like I was with Isabel again. When I killed her, the emotion that I felt was love. Wow, great feeling there. You need to be checked with a professional. No, there are many things in this world that I am unsure of, but I'm positive about this. What Jane felt was in love. It is nothing more than a bastardization of the very concept. So I did it again. The next girl also didn't meet my expectations, but I fell in love again when I killed her. And the next girl is an adrenaline rush. Don't think too much about it. And the one after that, oh wait, you should probably think about it a lot because you kill people. So yeah, that is a big problem, and society looks down upon that. Society frowns on that. Don't do that, that's against the law. Police would love you though. I know it's probably vain, but I can't stop hoping. Next time I will find Isabel again. Next time I will be able to capture that same love and preserve it. Yet every time I have to kill them. But I'm starting to wonder if it's better this way. Better that my relationships are nothing but blissful, and then they end before the passion cools and the fights begin. That the relationship ends with love instead of resentment. It's beautiful, in a way. Just like what I had with Isabel. It only lasted for a handful of moments, but that ephemerality is precious in its own right. And then there's you. Jane finally turns back to me and I feel the blood draining from my face. I never thought that I feared death before. My life has been empty, my soul an empty husk that I was desperate to fill with the love of others. I have no family that cares. I have no ambitions in life. I'm so frustratingly difficult that I know my soul friend would be better off without me. Yet when I look into Jane's feverish eyes, I can't help but desperately want to live. We had a good run, didn't we? Can't seem to open my mouth to respond. But this won't work. I would rather end this while things are still good between us. You understand, right? She lifts her blade up to my throat. I am grateful for all the time you spent with me. So don't worry. I'll make this as quick and painless as possible. Jane could have slit my throat as soon as she finished her monologue, yet her hands are still as she watches me, waiting for me to respond. Really, she could have killed me when she knocked me unconscious. But she didn't, because she wants something from me. Which means that I still have a chance to survive this. What should I do though? Cry? I'm sure plenty of previous victims sobbed and begged for their lives before this, and look where it got them. 6 feet under. Do I profess my undying love? Considering Jane practically just admitted to emotionally cheating on me during our entire relationship, I feel a twinge of annoyance at that. I'm not feeling particularly inclined to fawn over her anymore. I don't think I would be able to keep up the ruse. Then an idea comes to mind and I open my mouth before I can second guess myself. Are you kidding me? Huh? I gave you all of my love only to learn that this whole time you've been cheating on me? Jane flinches back from the volume of my voice. I'm not going to be killed by some coward who can't get over their ex. Untie me. I shove my bound hands in front of her face, making her blink in confusion. What? Untie me so we can argue like adults. Jane tries to give an easy smile, but I could tell it looks strained. Didn't you hear me before? Didn't you hear me before? I'm going to kill you. I shrug. All I heard was whining. Boo-hoo, my parents are homophobic and my ex didn't want to deal with it. She tried to break up with me, so I killed her, but I regret it. Boo-hoo, feel sorry for me. Well, too bad I don't feel sorry for you. Especially because you're so cowardly that you can only admit this to someone you're about to kill. What? I'm not dying until we have this argument. So untie me now. Jane stares down at the ropes, binding my hands, the flesh coating her cheeks. After a moment, she cuts the rope off. Wow, that actually worked? What? Either she got caught up in my momentum or I cowed her with my observations. Regardless, I'm now free from the ropes. I rub my sore wrist before patting the spots on the ground next to me. Now sit. Jane sits. She's actually surprisingly docile. Maybe I could push my luck. Now, apologize for cheating on me. I didn't cheat on you. Not docile anymore, huh? Yes, you did. You were only looking for your ex in me. You only care about me as much as I resemble your ex. You literally just told me this. I'm someone who has no qualms against changing myself entirely to suit the taste of my partner, but even I have my limits. You never even said my name. Do you even know what it is? Of course I do. Camellia. Whoa, this is definitely not the appropriate time for you to skip a beat, Heart. God damn it, are you kidding me? Whatever. It's not like you could talk either. I know you're not really interested in me. All you care about is your delusion of love. Oh, got him. Huh? How the hell did I ever used to have a crush on her? This woman pisses me off. And don't even get me started on that stalking habit of yours. You claim you're willing to do anything for your love, but you have ever tried giving them some fucking privacy? Oh, so I spend my free time checking up on my partner and making sure they're not getting up to anything suspicious. Big deal. At least I don't murder them. Murder is way better than stalking. Both are fucking terrible. What the hell are you talking about? I only give my partners a moment of agony, whereas by compromising their sense of security, you subject your victims to a lifetime of looking over their shoulders. Oh yeah? Tell that to the law then. Stalking is just a fine at best, and a handful of prison time at worst. Murder will get you upwards of a life sentence. It actually disgusts me how you know that. Wow. She has a point. Well, your face disgusts me. Oh, so we're dodging the argument now. Alright. We go back and forth for longer than I'm proud of, trading insults and letting out our deepest, innermost feelings. When things calm down and we're both breathing heavily, I start laughing. What's so funny? I gesture between us. This. Arguing is kind of stress relieving, isn't it? Jane sighs, but she doesn't argue with me. I would know I'm the queen of getting into arguments with people. That's not something to be proud of. I giggle even harder. Once I calm down, Jane runs a hand through her hair. Well, that completely ruined the mood. I don't even feel like killing you anymore. I'm glad my scheme worked. Oops, I let out that this was all planned. You're not supposed to admit that it was a scheme. Jane gives me a look of pure disgust. For some reason, my heart skips a beat again. What the fuck? Is this thing malfunctioning? We're both terrible people. Maybe we're perfect for each other. Huh, do you really mean that? Jane takes a moment to think. Now, we probably would tear each other apart. Right. But maybe it's better that way. Maybe it's better that we tear each other apart than everyone else around us. She does have a good point. All my past relationships have ended due to my own fuck-ups. Well, other than the relationship that ended due to Jane's interference. Regardless, I have proven time and again that I can't change, that I will always be insecure and controlling. That's not something to be proud of. And it would be kind of refreshing to be in a relationship where I didn't have to pretend I was a good person. But on the other hand, it would be like playing with fire. There's no guarantee that Jane won't try to kill me again. Yep. She'll probably still try to make me a replacement Isabel. If I want someone to love me for me, then Jane certainly wasn't the option. What should I say? Let's see. Yeah, top to bottom. Yeah, we're better off together. Yeah, you're right. We're better off together. Let's destroy each other. Jay smirks and stands up before extending a hand out to me. Shall we go on our fourth date then, girlfriend? With pleasure. I grip her hand and let her lead me forward. 4:34 p.m. Jay should have been home 5 minutes ago. I bite my thumb as I anxiously pace around the door. Jane and I moved in together just a few months ago. Wow, really? God damn it. No wonder don't just move in together. I thought that meant things were going good between us, but Jane still couldn't kick her nasty habit of looking at other women. Whatever. At the end of the day, she's mine, and I will do anything to ensure it stays like that. The door opens and I leap into Jane's arms before she had the chance to speak. You're late! And this is good material. This is good thumbnail material. Just give me 5 seconds, boys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're late! Sorry, I got caught up in traffic. Is it just me or does she look bored? I lean forward and sniff her. You smell like perfume. That's because I wear perfume. I roll my eyes. Someone else's perfume. Aren't you going to tell me who it is? What, so you can beat her nose into? No. We've been dating now. We've been dating for how many years and she still didn't get it? Only broke that one bitch's nose because it looked like Isabel's. So unless this other bitch also has a nose like Isabel's, her nose is safe. So you just damaged the part that resembles Isabel, huh? Of course, you can't be looking at anyone except me after all. So tell me who it is. Jane takes a moment to think. Alright, I'll tell you. Fucking finally. Should have just started with that. If you wear those clothes I brought home the other day. I frown. Are you kidding me? The ones you stole from Isabel's house after you killed her? Not that I mind indulging in a bit of roleplay. It makes our sex life way more interesting. Okay, TMI, too much information. But there's just one problem. It's too tight around the chest. Jane doesn't look impressed. Wear it anyways. You're trying to choke the life out of me, girlfriend? Maybe I like seeing a little bit constricted. I laugh. He's always so painfully honest. Fine, I'll do it. Jane finally gives me a real smile. Then what are you waiting for? Jane always keeps me busy. Always makes me work so hard to keep her attention on me. It's a good way to work off my nervous energy. And yet, nearly every night, I desire to understand Jane in a way beyond the physical or emotional. To understand her on a spiritual level. I grab a kitchen knife, its handle still warm from the night before, and walk into our shared room. My fuzzy socks kill my footsteps so Jane doesn't stir in her sleep, even when I'm standing next to her. Then I picture what it would feel like to drag the blade across her throat. If I kill Jane the same way she used to, she still kills her own victims when I feel that same love that she feels. I know Jane will never be the one to kill me. When I first found her with her victim, the first one since she started officially going out with me, I begged her to kill me. To prove that she still desired me the way she desires all those Isabel replacements. But she refused. She doesn't want to anymore. Because she doesn't love me. I hold the knife over her throat, but once again, I don't have the courage to go through with it. I just can't bring myself to let her go. So I put the knife back and look up the woman whose perfume was on Jane. She was foolish enough to post a picture of the house she bought with her husband on Facebook. So with a little bit of investigation, I'm able to find the address. Okay. Now I just need to find a way to scare her enough to flee town. Gosh, she's so unlikable. She's such an awful person. I sigh as I start the coffee machine. Jane isn't any better. She's a fucking serial killer. She's a murderer. Both are fucking terrible, awful people. This is going to be another long night. The things I do for love. Ending several miles from the sun. Right. That's ending 2, 3. How do I get to the other endings? Let's see. Nah, let's not. Now we're better off going our separate ways. We want different things after all. Yeah, you're probably right. Jane sighs and runs another hand through her hair. Man, I really don't want to kill you though. Wow, despite kidnapping me and trapping me down here with the sole intent of killing me, she sure changed her mind quickly. Should I be offended? Why would you have to? She gives me an incredulous look. To keep your trap shut, of course. I merely shrug. You probably have enough dirt on me from my stalking. I don't feel particularly inclined to get you arrested, especially if it means I'll get in trouble too. Jane thinks for a moment. Yeah, I suppose you have a point. She stands up, so I guess it's over between us. I guess so. At that time, I truly was ready to part ways from Jane forever, but guilty. Not even a handful of hours after leaving the storeroom under the theater stage, I was detained by the police. Great job. Yeah, justice is served. The reason? I was the main suspect for the hot lady killer case. The trial progressed smoothly, too smoothly to even properly fight for myself. And my lawyer was, of course, no help, and it couldn't help me much either. I suspected Jane's parents pulled a few strings, all with the intent of pinning Jane's crimes on me. After a short trial, they succeeded. But why? Jane had to be the one who orchestrated it. I thought we had an understanding, but clearly I was sorely mistaken. After the judge declares his verdict in my sentence, an officer starts leading me out of the courtroom. But I can't help taking another glance at Jane before I leave. We lock eyes. She's been here for the entirety of the trial, but I could never catch her eye before now. Jane smiles and I note the relief cornering her eyes. I finally understand. It's Jane's cowardice. After all the times that Jane was vulnerable and confessed all she had done and the feelings behind her actions, she killed the person she confessed to afterwards. Yeah. But Jane's only interested in killing the one she loves, or more accurately, killing the women who remind her of the one she loves. Then there's me, who knows her secrets yet she can't bring herself to kill. Instead, she decided to lock me away so she doesn't have to deal with me anymore. Out of sight, out of mind. Wow, she's surprisingly shy. What the fuck? Don't worry, Jane. I know you're scared of being seen, of being vulnerable, but your secrets are safe with me. I know you can't handle knowing that I know you right now, so I'm okay with being stuffed in the cell, for now. But I will be back. You can't escape my vision for long. I'm good at acting like a good little girl. I won't be held in prison for life. And when I'm back, you will be mine. Wait, how? When all the when all the murders are pinned on you, how can you be back? Whatever. Wait for me, Jane. Oh, you fucked up now, Jane. Better that we break. Just so funny. Wait. Ending list. What is ending number 2? Let's see. Here we go. So we check on Jane. Called Jade and asked if she was okay. After a few unconvincing reassurance, she admitted she could use some company, so I drove over to her dorm room so she wouldn't have to be alone. The inside of the room was mostly plain, with a few decorations of what I assumed to be Anna's side of the room. On the other side of the room, Jane's was a large black safe. I was immediately curious about it, but I didn't get the opportunity to ask before Jane spoke up. It's scary to know that there's a man capable of that here on campus. Adam. I still don't know why he did it. What led him to stab Anna? Do you know what happened? Jane shook her head. I don't know all the details, but I heard from another student that Adam jumped Anna outside of the dorm and stabbed her twice. Once in the leg and once in the hand. Stabbed in the leg and hand? Why did that sound familiar? She's okay, she managed to get away, thankfully. The reminder of Anna had a fresh wave of guilt squeezing my chest. I need to check up on them after this, even if it would be awkward. She was worth it. Jane hugged her arms around herself. It's just scary to know that he's still at large. It was rare to see Jane being so openly vulnerable. She must have been really shaken up. I wrapped an arm around her and held her close, rubbing her back slowly. She was tense at first, but that tension quickly melted away as she relaxed into my hold. She didn't hug me back, though. At least we know who the perpetrator is. He'll be caught in no time. Yeah, but... Chicken butt. Jane pulled away from me. I guess I'm not really comfortable with how much attention this is getting. I know the police are going to ask me questions, maybe even go through the dorm just because I'm her roommate. I just don't really appreciate my privacy being compromised. Her voice took on a hard edge, likely due to her stress. I didn't know what to say to her. I didn't have any advice to give. I was never good at dealing with the police myself, and all I could really suggest was what worked for me to get good at lying. But of course I couldn't ethically do that, so instead I gave her a sympathetic smile. I'm here if you need anything. Thanks. All of a sudden Jane shot up. I blinked up at her in surprise. What am I doing? I should get you a drink. Jane walked over to the mini fridge in the corner of the room, but just when she was about to open it, a phone started ringing. I always kept my phone on vibrate, but I checked my own just to be sure. No calls. No messages either. Jane pulled out her own phone, her already pale skin becoming a few shades lighter when she saw who was calling. Unfortunately, I was too far away to see who it was myself. Jane rejected the call before shoving her phone back in her pocket. She pulled out 2 bottles from the fridge and handed one to me. Here, I stocked up the fridge with your favorite tea. I stared down at the green tea in my hand. When did I say this was my favorite? I didn't even like tea. Jane got this while thinking about me. This was my new favorite drink. I opened it and took a sip. Ugh. So about our upcoming psych. Before Jane could finish her sentence, her phone rang again. She pulled it out and rejected the call just as quickly as she did before. You can answer the call if you need to. As much as I enjoyed Jane's company, I didn't want to get in the way of someone who really needed something from her. No, it's fine, The phone started ringing again. Jane sighed and stood up. Okay, I really do need to answer this. With an apologetic look, Jane answered the call and stepped out of the dorm room. Suddenly, I was alone. It took less than a minute for my attention to turn back to the safe near Jane's bed. I tried my best to be a good girlfriend, but I certainly wasn't above snooping. At the thought of Jane keeping something from me, it filled me with unease. So with another look at the door to be sure Jane was still outside, I made my way over to the safe and examined the lock. It required a 4-digit code to open. 4-digit codes were usually dates, so there was a chance I might be able to guess it. I first tried Jane's birthday. Don't ask me how I know this, but no luck. Then I tried the date we became official, then the date we first met. Nothing. Not really expecting much at this point. I tried my own birthday. Shocked when I heard a click and the door opened. Inside, okay, we can skip this part. I can see the skip button lighting up. We're official now. She's perfect. My Isabel. I dropped the paper. Skippity-doo that day. The praise warms my chest, though it feels like a completely inappropriate time to do so. Who is that person you keep comparing me to, etc.? Our first kiss. Right, etc. My head falls, my chin resting against the cold blade of Jane's knife. I can't hold back a shiver. Maybe you're right. I can't recognize my own voice. It sounds too hollow, too full of a vulnerability I'm unused to sharing with others. Maybe it would be better if things end here. I don't have any reason to live. Nobody loves me. Nobody wants me. I can barely stand my own reflection. The words hurt to say this, but I can't stop. No matter how much I try, there's no one in this world who loves Camellia Green. A hot tear falls down my cheek. Not even you, Jane. I can barely see Jane through my vision, but she appears shocked. Perhaps she wasn't expecting me to start crying. Maybe it would be better if Camellia dies here. She was insufferable. R.I.P. on my epitaph. She was insufferable. No matter how much I tried, no one would ever love her. I have no attachment to that woman anymore. Not if being her would mean losing you. I'm choking, but not on my tears. The flame in my chest is suffocating me from the inside out, reminding me that while love has sustained me, it can burn too. Yet all I can focus on is Jane, on finding some way to keep this love burning, on some way to keep the flame lit. No matter what, I must use as fuel. Please tell me what I have to do to earn your love. I will do anything, be anything for you. Jane seems to take a minute to find her words. You would be Isabel for me, even after hearing all that I've done? It just feels as if it's splintering. Yeah, Jane takes a moment to think. Another tear falls from my eye, clearing my vision enough to see her lower her knife. Her blue eyes lock with mine, and the feeling that overwhelms me in this moment must be love. Alright then, prove it. Much time has passed since then. After a few hiccups in our relationship, Jane and I were now officially official. I switched majors and became a veterinarian after graduation, whereas Jane joined the police. We live together now and are starting to plan our wedding and the rest of our lives together. Jane stopped holding back her affection, and I was able to let go of my insecurities. We go on dates every week. Jane spoils me and buys me anything I want. The sex is amazing. Okay, too much information. And Jane tells me she loves me every day. I know that love between us will never fade. I am so sick at people just being open about their sex life or shit. Like, yeah, okay, you don't have to mention that. Okay, we get it. Shut up. Because, you know, the word gooning is become so normalized now. People are... Aren't you embarrassed? Where's the fucking shame? Aren't you embarrassed to say that shit? Like, dude, what the fuck are you talking? Don't just say that. Have some decency. God, I hate people. I know that love between us will never fade. It will always sustain me. I'm happy. It wasn't that hard to get to this point. Killing someone was surprisingly easy. Jane's on me. Oh great. Two serial killers now. There's one slice in the right place and that person was gone. I thought that I would break down after severing the life of another. One smile from her was all I need to remind myself why I did it. For her. For love. I have no regrets. I finally achieved the happiness I've always dreamed of. And yet she lingers. Why are you still here? The ghost watches my every interaction with Jane, a constant weight against my joy. So this is Camellia, who turned herself to look as much as Isabel, and her other self is like, dude, what the fuck? The ghost watches my every interaction with Jane, a constant weight against my joy. A constant reminder of the past I can never escape. She stares back at me in my reflection. How do I make you disappear for good? I already killed her. Living things are easy to kill, but ghosts are difficult to banish. This one particularly persistent, as if trying to remind me of something. I'm happy now, don't interfere with us. I know it's pointless talking to a ghost. No matter how much I egg this one out, she never responds to me anyways. But her constant presence is unsettling. You're dead, you have to move on. The ghost doesn't budge, she continues to stare her eyes, a haunting copy of my own. Damn it. Press the mirror and the shadows beneath my fist, my skin burning from the impact and the shards that cut into it, see? No matter how much you think you're happy you are, mentally you're not. You know something is wrong and you can't do it. You're refusing to do anything about it. From downstairs I can hear Jane call my name. Don't call my name, Alejandro. Just leave me alone. Scream and crumble to the ground. Yet the ghost doesn't leave. I have a feeling it never will. It will forever linger on the edges of my happiness until the day that Isabella's buried. Until the day that Isabella is buried in the earth for the second time. Until the ghost reveals itself to Jane and I die my second death. yeah. 200 letters I will never send. Lamau. Okay, so two more endings. Let's see. Can we get it today? I want to go where you want to go. Was there truly any other choice? I want to go where you want to go. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. The next day, Jane took me downtown to see a theater performance. The outside of the building looked small and unimportant. In fact, I think I might have passed by it when driving at least a dozen times without ever realizing it was a theater. But when we stepped inside, I was in awe of the sheer luxury of the place. The plush carpets, dangling chandeliers, exquisite art. When we walked into the viewing room, I expect to see seating lined up almost like in a movie theater. But I was surprised to see booths and clusters of tables surrounding a stage with candle lighting on each table. I'd never been to one, but it looked like just like the depictions of a cabaret club I'd seen on TV before. You were here to see a stage adaptation of Carmelia. Not heard of Carmelia before, but it did sound familiar. Jen explained to me that it was a queer vampire story and one that she really enjoyed. Jane led us to a seat near the back, and the show started soon after. Two gorgeous female leads were engaging in their own right with their exaggerated melancholy of movements, but what truly drew me in was the audience. Unlike at a movie theater, the audience here wasn't afraid to make noise. The ooh and ah in the performance, but they also leaned in close to the other people at their tables, whispering intimately and giggling amongst themselves. It felt lively and I enjoyed the atmosphere just as much as I was enjoying the performance. Jane leading close to me and I met her halfway. You know, my parents have always been strict with me. I stared up at Jane. Wow, great job at bringing it up while we're watching something. I stared up at Jane, surprised by this sudden admission. But I wanted her to continue, to learn more about her, so I gave her an encouraging smile and continued listening. They didn't want me to enjoy anything impure or unfitting for their perfect little girl. They forbade me from so many things: skateboarding, video games, listening to country or rock, and of course they won't even let me touch anything remotely queer. My heart hurt just thinking about it. But I was interested and I found my way. At school, they couldn't control my every action. Sure, they paid the school enough that the teachers felt incentivized to cater to their whims, but once I realized that they were too scared of my parents' wrath to actually punish me, I had free reign. So I played and listened to and read whatever I wanted at school. Jane looked at the stage as she continued talking. When I read Le Fanu's Carmelia, all I could think about was how nice it would be for an attractive woman to infiltrate my bedchambers. That was when I realized I was lesbian. And when I realized that I would never fit my parents' expectations, I didn't know what to say to that. I didn't have a similar story myself. I never really considered myself queer, so I never really had to worry about whether or not others would accept my identity. In fact, up until Jane, I never went on a date with another girl before. To me, love was the only important thing and gender had nothing to do with it. I had a feeling I could love anyone no matter what gender they were. It was just as simple as that. But from the stories I saw online and on one app, I learned that gender orientation and sexuality was really important to a lot of people. Not me, fuck that. Seems like an awful lot of headache to consider. Like if you're into that, yeah, okay, bye. Even Anna had confessed to me that they consider themselves as a part of the non-binary spectrum. But I just didn't know how to relate. I was born a girl, I didn't feel any attachment to their identity. I had a feeling that I would be the exact same if I was born a boy. And I knew that it was normal for girls to date boys, but I never felt attraction towards a boy just because he was a boy. It was always something that he did that sparked my attraction. And I was attracted to Jane for the same reason. It wasn't that I didn't care about questioning my own identity and orientation, it was just that it didn't change a thing. The only ones whose opinions I really cared about were Jane, Anna, and Mom. Anna would accept me no matter what. Mom probably wouldn't care. And Jane, I just didn't want to tell her. It would sound dismissive, wouldn't it? Yup, I don't give a shit. To pretend I could relate to her, when in fact I never struggled with my own identity. I couldn't understand failing a parent's expectations when no expectations have ever been placed on me. When I wanted to help her, to show her that I cared, I had absolutely nothing to say. Instead, I placed a hand over the hand, she rested on the table and smiled. Thank you for telling me. Jane gave a clumsy smile back but said nothing. We both turned back to the show and barely any words passed between us for the rest of the performance. The silence didn't make me uncomfortable though. I felt relaxed, like an understanding settling between us. Okay, we can skip this. So this is a new part or something, hopefully. Check on that. There's no way Jane would hurt anyone. Jane had nothing but kind and patient with me. There was no reason for me to believe that she would hurt anyone, someone I cared about. I could have believed that Anna would try to pick another fight here in the hospital of all places. And now I've good okay, we can skip this part. Third date, she was so quick to defer to me. It was honestly adorable. But I was once again reminded of just how different she is. I'm still holding on to hope, but I might need to start planning in case this goes wrong. We're official now. Wait, the same thing, okay. Don't overwrite that. Load. Yep. Check on Jane. Even though you're so similar to Isabel, I know that this won't work between us now that you know all that I've done. Skip. Come on, man. Same thing. Let's see. 2 more endings. Ah, we noticed though. How do we get the other endings? Let's see. Because this is where we were. Yep. And then the same thing, yeah. Before I could reach out of jumping and smash my phone, etc. Oh, well, I guess I'll search for the 2 endings on some other video because it's taking quite a while. So this is Caught in Your Web. If you want to try the game for yourselves, the links are in the description. That is all for today. Stay safe and take care of yourselves. Why isn't there any gallery here? That would be so preferable. Like, yay, I won an artwork. I want to see it in full detail instead of just replaying the game all over again. I'm just saying, visual novels should do that. That should be the norm or something. Don't waste your art, man. Don't waste your art.